Hello, friends, and welcome back to another January Pantry Challenge week. I have been feeling a little unmotivated lately. Sometimes I feel like I cook the same things, and so I just kind of get uninspired. But I hope you guys find some ideas out of this video. This night I was making a spaghetti squash kind of stir fry. The spaghetti squash was from my garden last year. It's angel hair spaghetti squash. And I just fried up some ground beef with some coconut aminos, ginger, and some other seasonings. And then I had butternut squash and broccoli in my freezer. And we just kind of threw it all together and made a kind of a one pot meal that night. Now, I had this sourdough bread that I think I used in the previous week's video. I pulled it out of the freezer. It's kind of going stale on us, and so I decided to make kind of a French toast casserole one morning. I just had some leftover cream cheese in the fridge, whipped it together with some eggs, some maple syrup, cinnamon, milk, and my family every year makes something called Brigadoon French toast, kind of similar. And this berry sauce was actually from that from Christmas time. That's how long it's been sitting in my refrigerator. But I decided that I wanted to try and use that up. And I put it on top and then baked it. And it was really fun to eat this one morning. This next meal, I had this leftover kind of broth from a pot roast one time I made, and I decided to save the juices from that. I've been trying to get better and not throw away those extra juices from meat that you wouldn't typically use, and I decided to make rice with it. This rice turned out so good. I did add a few seasonings and then I added some frozen vegetables that I just had like a half bag in the freezer. And I just put that on the rice setting on my Instapot. And we just paired it with some pork chop that night from the freezer. And it was just a really quick and simple dinner that night. So far on this pantry challenge, I have not had to go to the store for vegetables at all, which I've been super excited about. I have had to go to the store for some dairy products and some eggs. Um, but that's mainly just because my son goes through a lot of that, and I was letting myself do that this month. But I've been really happy with what I've been getting out of the garden. This cabbage is out of my garden. We've been getting a lot of rain and it started to split, so I decided to pick it and use it, and it was just really felt really rewarding to be able to pick something out of the garden and eat it for dinner that night. So I did kind of make a peanut butter Thai sauce, I guess you could call it, just with a few different things. And then we did cabbage, carrots, and some red onion, and just kind of made a kind of like a peanut butter slaw, I guess you could say. I did add a little bit of mayonnaise to give it a tiny bit of creaminess, but this turned out really good, and I was really happy with how it turned out. Now, with the peanut butter slaw, we had the leftover rice from the night before. I had some leftover canned turkey in the refrigerator, and I just kind of made a fried rice for the next night to be able to use up the rest of this. And then we actually just paired it with a pork chop again that night. So just another simple dinner and had kind of a fresh, yummy salad with it. And we really enjoyed this. Okay, so for the next night, I really wanted to try my hand at making like a homemade white queso. So I caramelized some onions and then I did add a little bit of flour to thicken it, and then some milk and these green chili peppers. And then I cut some cheese off and broke it in there. And then we just did some seasonings. And I believe I did cumin, paprika, chili powder, garlic, onion powder, salt, pepper. And it turned out really yummy. And we just let that cheese melt and it got kind of thick. And we just had this as kind of an appetizer with some chips. And then for dinner, I had some like taco size tortillas in my refrigerator that I wanted to use up. And I opened this can of stew beef. And I also had a little bit of extra sausage in my refrigerator. And we just put some taco seasoning on that. And we had the most simple tacos that night that were really delicious. We just did this meat and then topped it with that peanut butter slaw from the night before and some cowboy candy, and they were honestly so good. So I was really happy with that meal. And then for this last night, I was kind of going for a zuppa toscana. I did really bad at recording this night, but I had to do it in the morning, and so I just put everything in the crock pot. And we did the broth, potatoes, some seasonings, and then I caramelized some onions with some ground sausage, and we just put it all together and I let it cook for about 4 to 5 hours. And then I added some of my garden cabbage with some milk, and it turned out really, really yummy. I was actually very pleased with cabbage in the soup. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it gave you guys some inspiration. I know I was feeling a little uninspired this week, but I hope it gave you guys some ideas on what to use out of your own pantry. And thank you guys so much for following along, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Bye.